Today, we tell a heart-wrenching story of a Nigerian man whose name is yet to be known. All we know about him is that he's an international student at one of the UK universities. He embarked on his journey to the UK to secure a better future for his wife and 3 beautiful children. Perhaps selling cars, houses, and other valuables to pay school fees, proof of funds, visa fees, and IHS for a family of 5. You know that's not cheap. But what he had to pay again is what they call the ultimate price. He didn't even know he was going to pay that high. This man arrived the UK with dreams of advancing his career, giving better lives to his kids and even his unborn kids, his unborn grandchildren. But sometimes these are our men, African men, then they lose guard. They usually lose focus. Sometimes, like many immigrants, he worked tirelessly, balancing academic goals with part-time jobs to make ends meet. But unfortunately, some of them think the best way to relax in diaspora is by becoming loose or running after everything in skirts, in trousers, in boo-boo, just name it. So story has it that the wife started to suspect Oga's movements. Like some of them will lie they have night shifts only to pass the night warming another woman's bed, Forget migration can strain even the strongest of all relationships. And that is why if you are still struggling with resentment, infidelity, unforgiveness as a couple, think twice before you jackpot. So reports suggest that this handsome man faced marital challenges and his wife allegedly left him, maybe because she added to the brim and she was traumatized because of his incessant infidelity. Who knows? She was said to have moved out of their house, leaving the husband to cope with the pressure of his studies, his night shifts, and to take care of the 3 children. And you know what childcare is like in diaspora. That sounds like hell on earth, because normally many African men are not even trained to look after themselves, not to talk of looking after kids. That's why I will love to recommend this particular Jackpot series. It's on YouTube by Pastor Olumide Emmanuel. I remember watching all the series before we jackpot eventually to the UK. It's going to help you.
You need to ask yourself, is your marriage strong enough for that move? So many marriages break when people relocate. Nigeria, with all of us available to counsel you, you are fighting, we are talking. I hope you know that even to go to a counselor for mediation is £200 per person for 2 hours. So you pay your own £200. Your wife will pay her own £200.
So let's continue. Overwhelmed and exhausted because international students, they most likely have to depend on their wives to balance up their school fees. Because as an international student, you cannot exceed 20 hours work limit legally while the school is on, while your school is not on holiday. So this man had to sacrifice his health for his family. But on this fateful evening, after his long night shift, he returned home. But unfortunately, what happened? Nobody expected it. His neighbors even saw him as he drove back from work. But unfortunately, by the time he got inside, he collapsed before the eyes of his children. And the kids, in shock, they raised alarm while the neighbors trooped in to call the ambulance. Did this ambitious man survive it? Unfortunately, again, he was pronounced dead, leaving his children in shock and his community grieving. His tragic passing raises many questions about the irrational step that the wife took due to the strain in their marriage. Now, judging as an individual, do you think the woman has done the right thing? Many people are all in abuses, raining curses on the wife, judging her, while some people are saying, is he only the first person to die? Now, I know that death is not new. People die in Nigeria as well. But the cost of bearing an immigrant who has no life insurance in the UK is really expensive. And that's a stark reminder of the importance of life insurance and planning. Now, Now, let's go to the vital lessons for anyone that is planning to migrate to the Western world. Your health comes first. Overworking may provide short-term relief, but let me tell you, it can have devastating consequences. So, watch how you work. Number 2 is that you need to strengthen your relationships, because migration is hard on families. Prioritize communication and mutual support to weather the challenges together as a couple. Be kind to each other. Be kind as a society. Last week was Kindness Week in my children's school. And I think as Africans, we need to also incorporate kindness into our school curriculum. We need to look out for the best in one another, especially as a couple. Also, as Africans, despite the fact that we pay for health insurance surcharge, IHS, many of us refuse to go to the GP for general body checkups. Please, I urge you, as a fellow immigrant, maximize that opportunity. Make sure you visit the GP as and when due. Also, you need to prepare mentally, prepare financially, and in other aspects before you migrate, because migration is not a major shortcut. You need to understand that sacrifices are involved and you should be ready to adapt. For instance, some people might decide to leave their young children with trusted family members and first migrate alone as a couple, husband and wife, so that they can weather the storms together and then they become stable. And when they are stable, they can go and then bring their kids over. They are not foolish. As much as some people might disagree with that pattern, it is working for some other people. Even me, that I came with my children, sometimes I just feel like, should I just take these children back home for 1 year? Honestly speaking, do what works for you. Make your research. Understand what challenges, at least 50% of what you're coming to face where you are going. Don't just assume that because you have the money, you were able to pay an agent to help you secure admission in a university, that you just come here. And on a final note, as a community of Africans in diaspora, we have to offer support to one another. This can't be overemphasized. Not just in moments of tragedy that we are raising GoFundMe, that's when you now contribute money. We need to help one another thrive. Let us end this unhealthy competition of who buys what first, who buys a car first, who gets a mortgage first, how many mortgages have you got within how many years. Let it stop. And also let this story inspire you to act with kindness, plan wisely, and cherish every moment with your loved ones. Thank you for watching, and if this story touched you as much as it did to me, share it with others, and let's build a more supportive community for immigrants everywhere that we go. See you in my next video.
But I feel led to pass this message, especially to our married couples. I know that sometimes your spouse will do things to you that you will get angry. I know that sometimes your wife will cheat or your husband will cheat. Or, I don't know, things will happen in this country that we are. But I want to beg us, let us be kind to one another. Let us do things with love. Let us think of our children. Please, I'm begging you people, let us be kind to one another. This UK is a place where family unity is not supported. Do not use your own hands to destroy your home. My husband's friend just went for night shift, and he came back home. He had an argument with his wife. I don't know what happened in the home, and the wife packed out and left him with 3 children. He's a student with 20 hours, so he has been working overtime, going out, doing night shift, leaving the children. He just drove in this morning. The neighbors saw him when he came in. As I'm talking to you now, I don't know how they found out the children raised alarm. The man just collapsed and the man passed on in the house with 3 children. The question I want to ask now is, that wife that left this man, even if the man did something to you, support him. Support him. Now will she come back now and carry those 3 children? Will she have peace in her heart? Let us remember the love we once had for our spouses even when they err. Please, I'm begging you people. Now those 3 children were with the father's dead body until the neighbors came into the house. As I'm talking to you now, the neighbors are waiting to carry the man's body. The 3 children have stood with the body. I'm begging us.